What's up, everybody? Well, you're about to watch the Fixing the Marketing at Your Gym training that I just recorded, and the show rate on this training was bananas. Typically, there's like a 30% show rate. We had like a 70 or 80% people that registered for this training that actually showed up. They stayed on the call for the entire time. It was absolutely amazing. If you want to get better at marketing, if you want to fix the marketing at your gym, I'm going to teach you to do it inside 90 minutes. And my promise, as I said in the training, is you will probably learn more and know more about marketing in the next 90 minutes than if you took a 4-year degree at a university. So I'm super excited. This is going to be the best step forward to help you fix the marketing at your gym. Just go ahead, watch the whole training. There's Q&A at the end. There's all kinds of crazy, awesome stuff. But I'm super excited for you to watch this training. Hope you enjoy.
Okay, cool. So let me share my screen. Remember, this is a working session, so I'm kind of treating this like one of my coaching sessions. So I actually don't have slides. I'm going to share documents with you guys. I'm going to share different things. So there will be it may get a little clunky with me sharing stuff and sharing the screen and not sharing the screen. But bear with me. That's the difference between a webinar that's trying to sell you something, and I have nothing to sell you today, versus a coaching session, which is what I want to do to help you guys out. So that's the difference. All right, cool. All righty. Let me share. All right. I am going to pick who's my most animated person. Where's Molly? I saw Molly on here. Where are you, Molly?
Hey,
There you
Van.
go. Hi, Molly.
Hi.
Molly smiles at all my jokes and laughs at everything I say. So I'm gonna make sure I can only pick five people that I can see while I'm doing this. And I see, oh, Molly just went away. Where'd you go?
I unmuted
Damn
for
it.
you. Am I there?
No, Molly, come back.
I'm there. I am.
I don't see you.
I even unmuted.
I
Do I
think
pop up when I talk?
I think maybe you go away when you talk. Stop talking. Oh, there she is. Okay, cool. So I see Nora. You're gonna have to put your screen on. I see Nora. I see Kevin. I see Summit. Oh, good. Summit's a good familiar face too. And I see Edward. Edward, wave hi to everybody. I see you. So you guys are the five people that I can see. So I'm looking for woo, keep me going. Okay, keep me going. Okay. But Edward, make sure you unmute because you're unmuted right now, and
Oh, I am?
I heard that. Yeah, make sure you mute.
Oh, gotcha.
You're
Okay.
good. You're good. All right, let's go. I love this stuff. Okay, I have to start with an apology. Here's my apology. I do not have a new marketing magic bullet for you tonight. Today, I don't have a new update on the Facebook algorithm. I don't have any updates on how every new client that you can get to your gym is going to come from artificial intelligence and you don't have to do any thing anymore. I have an apology that if that's what you were expecting, I'm sorry. But I do promise, right? I do promise in the time that we spend together for your knowledge of the marketing part of your business, right? Which is why you're all here, because the title of this is Fixing the Marketing, that your knowledge and your control over your future, your control over your destiny will be in better hands in 90 minutes than it was when we started. Okay? That's my promise to you. Because I will tell you this, marketing changed my life. Understanding and learning marketing completely changed my life. I'm not sitting where I am today if I don't understand this part of the game. To create three different seven-figure companies, one a marketing agency, one a consulting company, and third a gym. And all of that was built on the principles, the marketing principles, because these principles aren't just specific for gyms. Like you can take a lot of what I'm going to teach you today, and you can put it into different companies and different businesses. This is going to be a gym owner spin to it. But at the end of the day, whatever I teach you today can be applied to grow any company. And that knowledge changed my life. And I'm hoping it can do the same for you. Okay. So any business, like if you're talking business and my daughter the other day interviewed me for her podcast about what a business is, right? And I basically explained it like this. Well, the first part of the business is, some intention needs to be grabbed and people need to raise their hand. And then a sale needs to be made and money needs to be exchanged. And then a service needs to be delivered, right? And then money needs to be kept. And those are the four components of your business. The four components of your business are marketing, sales, operations, finance. That's the same for all of us. That's the same for any company. Now, here's where it comes down to something very interesting. We can't make a sale if we don't have marketing, right? We can't keep people if we don't have people. We can't make the business more profitable if we're not making any money. And so it all starts right here. It all starts with the marketing. If we don't get this right, nothing else actually happens. So this is one of the most foundational principles for as a business owner that you need to understand and you need to learn. Okay. And the problem is, and again, there's a lot of people on this webinar, way more than I thought was going to show up. I mean, this is unbelievable how many people are on this webinar that have showed up that I did not think I thought you registered for this, but it seems to be that some of us need to fix the marketing in our business. Well, let me share with you why some of it's broken. Okay. So just follow along too with my cursor. Again, I opted not to do slides just for the sake of this not being a webinar. Here's one reason why the marketing is broken in many businesses and many businesses in general, right? The first thing is there's a lot of people teaching and selling marketing to gym owners that have no idea what they're doing. I mean, I hired an agency once to help me grow the marketing at my gym, and he started taking pictures of kettlebells. And I was like, "What are you going to do with those pictures of kettlebells?" He's like, "Well, I'm going to put them on your Facebook ads." And I was like, "Why are you going to do that?" He's like, "Well, we're marketing to people that like to work out, so that's why we want pictures of kettlebells." And I was like, "What?" I was like, like most of the people that have come in here have never known what a kettlebell is. They call it kettleball, right? They don't even know what actually it is. And that's what we're going to use, to the market. But there's a lot of people out there that really don't understand what they're doing. And I'm going to tell you right now, at the end of this webinar, you will probably have a better understanding of marketing than someone that has an MBA in marketing. Like I'm going to promise you that. I'm going to promise you that. And actually, there's someone I had a young girl. She might even be on here, Natalia. But I had a call with her. She's a senior. I think she's a senior in college now. But I had an hour call with her, and she had a degree in marketing. She said, "I learned more in this 1 hour call with you than I did in my 4 year degree." Right? So there's a lot of people out there that don't know what they're doing. Okay. The second thing is a lot of you guys, me included, right? We got good personalities, right? What is it? You can sell ice to an Eskimo or whatever it is, right? And you have these magnetic personalities, and you got people riled up, and then you sit down with them in a sales process, and you can sell them the dream and sell them a membership, and a lot of you can get by in sales and in retention and delivering your product on your own personality, right? On your own energy. But that doesn't work for marketing. This is a skill set, and we can't personality ourselves out of this skill set. We got to learn what needs to be done. Number three, the reason why marketing is broken is something called squirrel marketing. And squirrel marketing is this thing where you all of a sudden, I need leads. I got to do some marketing. We're low. We lost some clients. We got to do some marketing to get some people in the door. It's like that, was that commercial where all of a sudden it's like, squirrel, right? And it's just like, oh, I need marketing. I got to do some marketing. And that's not how we want to do it. It's not an event. Marketing is not an event. It's a process. It's a process that we need to build into our companies and into our business. Okay. So that's what we're going to teach today is how we can make this a process and not an event. Okay. Number four, the reason why marketing is broken is a lot of people say, I just want to run my business. I want someone else to do the marketing. Many, many people have said that. Right? Now, it is possible to outsource certain areas of your marketing. I believe many of my clients outsource their digital marketing to Gym Member Machine, which is the agency that I recommend people use. They do a phenomenal job. All right, but GR, the owner, is a really good friend of mine. All right, GR will tell you they are not the only thing that you need to be doing. Okay. And I think a lot of people want to just pass this whole thing off. We can't pass off the entire marketing plan. You, the owner of your company, have to understand this enough to be able to make sure that one, you're not hiring idiots to do marketing for you, right? Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to hire an idiot, and that idiot can work for you for a long time and take lots of your money. So you got to know enough to not hire idiots to help you. Um, but the second thing is you just got to understand this is so important. Like go back to here. This is the whole business right here. Like nothing happens if we don't get this right. So we got to own this part. Okay. Number five, nobody is tracking what's actually working. We don't do a really good job of like, is this actually working? Was this a worthwhile investment? Should I buy the newspaper ad? Should I continue to buy the newspaper ad? Facebook ads don't work. And they say all these things and they're making these blanket general statements with no data to back it up. Okay. And the last one is the reason why people marketing is broken is they consider it a cost and not an investment. Okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, and some of you are, hopefully you're, in the stock market and you're investing money in the stock market. But what's the average return on the market right now, Summit? 7%, 8%, right? Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to show you some examples where I invested $1,500 and made 30,000. Am I going to get that in the market? Not legally. Yeah, I could sell drugs and probably make that return, but I ain't going to do it in the market. I ain't going to do it in real estate. I ain't going to do it anywhere except right here. And so the big mindset we need to shift is shifting from our thinking of mindset. I'm not spending money on marketing. I am investing money in an income producing asset, which is a customer. Okay. So, as my mentor Dan Kennedy says, if there was one skill for you to master, this is it. And maybe today is your first. Oh, Summit just went away. Yeah, Summit was replaced with Sarah. So, Sarah, you're in. All right. Make sure you
Okay.
smile and laugh at all my jokes, Sarah. Okay. And make sure you mute yourself too, because I can hear you. All right.
I'm here, Jim.
You're,
I'm
you
here, Vince.
oh, good, good. Oh, no, but went away on my screen. Okay. So if there's one skill for you to master, marketing is it. Let's understand this enough. You don't have to become a guru, okay? But you gotta understand this skill enough. And that's the difference between kind of the stuff I do and a lot of the, people out there that are peddling you these, get 500,000 leads in 3 days, right? Which you see all the time. Okay. I want to give you guys some control over your destiny. I want you to have control over your destiny, and the knowledge that you acquire today will help give you better control. So here's how we're going to fix the marketing today. We're going to focus on 5 things. Okay, the first thing is we're going to decipher on what you want. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty, right? Because when was the last time someone asked you, "What the hell do you even want? What is your goal? What is the goal for your business? What do you want? Where do you want to be?" Two, we're going to talk about selecting the perfect clients, who are the people that you want to work with and should work with. Three, we're going to talk about knowing how to explain what makes you different, like what makes your gym different, and do you have a good answer for me if I asked you that? Okay. Number four, we're going to talk about all the ways that you can generate leads, all the different things that you can do to generate leads. We'll talk about a bunch of the different ones, and then I'm gonna show you a plan to put it all together to make it all happen. Okay, so that's kind of that's the path that we're on today. That's the journey that we're going to take together today. Just so I know everyone's still out there, type into the chat. How are we doing so far? Have we learned anything yet? Are we good to go? You ready to move on? Type something into the chat so I know you're alive. The interactive chat helps me tremendously. Also gives me a chance to take a sip of my Gatorade. Okay, we ready to go? All right, let's see what some of these people said. Summit. All righty. Taking notes. Good to go. All right, great job. Awesome. Thank you guys for being such a good audience. I really appreciate it. Very grateful for you guys for coming today. Okay. So the first thing, clarity on what you want starts with data. Okay. Clarity on what you want starts with data. Starts with knowing your numbers. I'm going to tell you a very embarrassing story. I sat down with a marketing very early in my career. I sat down with a marketing person, and she started asking me. The plan was for her to spend a day with me to help me with my marketing. This was way back when. And she said we sit down, and it's like 9 o'clock, and she sits down. And she's like, "Hey, well, what's your cost per lead?" And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, "Well, what's the cost to acquire a customer, which is also known as CAC?" And I was like, I don't know that either. And she kind of, she's like, "Well, what's your lifetime value? Surely you know that." And I was like, I don't. And she looked at me dead in the eyes, and she stood up and she said, "I'm sorry, Vince. I can't help you today. You don't know your numbers." And legit, we were supposed to meet for the entire day, and she walked out. And she says, "Call me when you are gonna treat this like a real business." She gave it to me, and I deserved it, right? Um, and from that day forward, I'm like, I got to know this stuff. I got to understand and know. So there are certain numbers that we need to know to help make the decisions that we need to make in marketing. Okay? I'm going to share a few of them with you today. To understand this, the future success of your business depends on the decisions that you make. Right? Our lives are shaped by decisions, right? All of our, the decision you made of who you're going to marry, right? The decision you make of whether to have children or not, the decision to get what career you're going to go into, all of that stuff shapes our lives. Well, your business life is shaped by the decisions that you make. Okay? And understand this. When emotion goes up, we get dumber. When emotion goes up, intellect goes down. Okay? So when we're emotional, when we have this feeling, when I think this is what we should do, or I feel that this is where we should go, or I feel we have a retention problem, I feel we have a sales problem, I feel we were not doing good at marketing. When you're feeling all the time, you're actually going to get dumber. And we don't want to be dumber. We want to be smarter. I have no room in my life to be any dumber than I actually am. Okay, I need everything I got. And so that's why I know the numbers and I pay attention. Okay, so knowing your numbers is how you make non-emotional smart decisions. Knowing your numbers is how you make non-emotional smart decisions. The better decisions you make, the better business you'll have. Okay? So here are a couple things you need to know. Let me guide you through this. Okay, this is called money math. Okay? Money math is better than math, isn't it? What is math? Math's homework. Math's, I hate this shit. Math is, my math teacher used to have this thing called Wowie Gut, and Wowie Gut stands for when are we ever going to use this? Right? And it's like there's so much math that we did in school that is just total BS and we're never going to use it. But this is real math we need to know. Okay? And it's going to be real simple. Okay? The first number you need to know is how many customers you have right now. Now, if you see my friend Summit, he has a software called Anomaly that does a really good job of helping you keep track of that. Okay, so you need a good software, but I will tell you, there was a period in my business career where I couldn't tell you how many customers I had. And it is one of the most basic foundational things that you need to know. You need to know how many customers you have. You need to know where you're starting from. Okay? If you can't tell me that right now, that's the first thing you need to do. Don't go do it now, but write a note to yourself. It's like, I have no idea how many customers I have right now, and I should know that number. Okay? Here's the second number you need to know is how many customers do you want in a year? Okay? In 12 months. Okay, we're sitting here. Let's say you're currently at 100 customers. Okay, fine, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is today. We're just figuring out what it is. And let's say we want to go from 100 members and we have a goal this year of 150. That's where we want to go. Okay? So those are the first two numbers you need to know. You need to know how many customers you have, and then you need to know how many customers you want in 12 months. Okay, simple, right? The second number that's really important, okay, is your what's called your lead to consult conversion rate. Okay, and that's just say that I get 10 leads. Okay, 10 people opt in through my website, or 10 people um, come through an ad, right? And the lead to consult conversion, and it could be trial, it's whatever you actually use, right? If you have a trial membership, a consultation, whatever your first step is in the process to do business with you. What is the conversion rate from when someone raises their hand and is a lead to actually taking that first step? Okay, and typically it's between 20 and 30% from what we see. If you get 10 leads, hey, if we can get 2 to 3 leads of the 10 to show up for the first time, we're on the right track. We're actually good. Okay, so I put in 20%. Now, if you don't know the number, that's fine. You don't need to know the number right now. Okay, but what I want you to do, if you don't know that number, that's a number that you want to know. Write a little note to yourself. I should figure out and know what is my conversion rate from lead to consult. Okay, and then the second one is what is your consult to new member, right? So that is the conversion rate when you sit down with a consultation or someone does a trial membership or a free session or however you do it. If you have 10 consultations, how many of those buy? Okay, that's the second percentage. Those are percentage numbers, right? And let's just say it's 80%. I like between 70 and 80%, right? So let's just say that we have seven, we sat down with 10 people and we had 7 people purchase. That would be a 70% conversion, right? So we should kind of know that number. You don't remember, if you don't know these right now, that is okay. I'm just telling you what you need to know and giving you the formula. Okay, so don't get like bent out of shape if you don't know these numbers, okay? But I'm telling you what you need to know, and you can very easily go find this stuff, okay? So bookmark this, write a note to yourself for later, okay? That. Number 4 is you have to know how many customers you're going to lose, okay? You have to know how many customers you're going to lose, okay? And that is what's called your average monthly attrition rate, okay? And now, if you don't know how many customers you have, you don't really know this number. But the way you'll get this number, the formula is how many clients you lost. Let's say you lost 5 clients, okay? Divided by the number of clients that you started that month with, right? And usually this is done monthly. So let's say I lost 5 clients in the month of March, and I started the month of March with 100 customers, and I would multiply that by 100, that would be 5%. That would be my attrition rate. Now, ideally, we're like between 3 and 5% for your churn rate. Some of you that maybe big box gyms or things like that may be a little bit different, and probably a little bit higher, but that is a really, really important number for you to know. Now, so these 4 numbers, okay, that I just went over are crucial for helping us know if our marketing is working. Okay, that if our marketing and our sales is actually working. That is why these numbers are so important for you to know. Okay, I just want to stop here. Can you type into the chat? Is this making sense? Either just type into the chat, making sense or confused. And if you're confused, it's okay. If you are confused right now, try to make this as simple as possible. I realize math sometimes is kind of a B. Yeah, so type into the chat. Yep, these numbers are so important. Got it. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. All right, good. And I'm hoping for some of you this is a little bit remedial. I do hope a certain percentage are like, yeah, Vince, all right, get to the next stuff. All right. I do hope some of you are saying that to me. We're gonna get to that in a second, Derek. Okay. Okay, cool. Got it. Okay, good. Yeah, so Ed said something. Our attrition rate is too high. These are the numbers I'm giving you are ranges to shoot for, right? 20 to 30% is a good thing to shoot for. 70 to 80% is a good thing to shoot for. 3 to 5% is a good thing to shoot for. Okay, so that should give you some clarity on if you're way higher than that, those are pieces of your business that you may want to work on. Okay? All right, now I'm about to make this a whole lot easier for you. You ready? So here's what I created for you. So all you need to do, and this is a prompt that you could just put into one of your AI platforms, is like you just put in and say, I'm trying to go from 100 to 150 members in 12 months. My conversion rate is 20% from lead to trial and 80% from trial to new member. Our average monthly attrition rate is 3%. What should my weekly lead, consult, and new member goal be to get to 150 members in 12 months? Okay. And if I put that in, right? What would come out is this: your weekly marching orders. That is your sales and marketing plan. Okay? In order to go from 100 to 150, you need to get 12 leads a week, which is a little more than a lead a day. Okay? In order for you to get to 100 to 150, you need to sit down with 3 consults. And in order for you to get from 100 to 150, you need to sign up 2 new clients every week if you were to go from 100 to 150. So that is like, this is like, once you know this, there's power. You're like, all right, now this is what I need to do. There's clarity. It's just like, all right, if I just get 12 leads in a week, I'm going to be putting myself in a better position to get those 3 consults. I'm going to be putting myself in a better position to get those 2 customers. But if you don't know this, you're kind of like swirling around, like, I don't really know what to do. I don't know if this is right. Am I winning or am I losing? Well, this tells you if you're winning or losing in your marketing and sales process. Okay, so it's a really, really important piece of it. All right, so here's the prompt. I'll just give you the formula. My gift to you. There you go. It's in the chat. Um, that's the prompt. If you want to know that number, you just take that, copy and paste it. You put your numbers in, and hopefully some good stuff comes out. But the big thing you want, this is all this gets you right here is this. And I'm telling you, when you know this, there's power behind what you're doing. There's going to be a lot of power behind what you're doing. Okay? So that's the first piece of understanding and fixing your marketing. The first piece of this is like knowing what success looks like. And if I could just line up on the ball and get these leads, this number of leads, and get this, and then now, here's the thing. Is this going to happen every week? What do you think? Is this going to happen every week? Not even close. Not even close. What am I, like a wizard in a crystal ball that says, no chance is it going to happen exactly like this. But shoot, at least we can get close. Like at least we got something that we know we're shooting for. Okay? So that's the first piece of this. We got to know the numbers. We got to know the data. And there's more stuff to know, guys. There's more stuff to know, but this is where we're going to start. Okay? This is where we're going to start. Okay, so ready for number 2? Yeah, I'm not going to wait for you to type into the chat. Here's number 2. So step 1, we got to know the numbers. Step 2 is we got to pick the right people. We got to pick the right customers. Okay? Marketing becomes much easier when you decide who the ideal person is you're looking for. When you market to everybody, your marketing job is almost impossible. It's like, how do you market at one time to adults, to athletes, to post-rehab ACL, and to senior citizens? How do you do that in one marketing piece? Their answer is you can't. Not effectively. You might as well put a sign up that just says, we're the gym for everybody. And that's the worst thing you can do. And that is the worst thing you can say. All right? Especially when we're gearing it towards marketing. Okay? Second thing, selecting a primary target market does not mean you cannot train other people. It just means that the focus of your marketing is towards your primary market. Okay? So understand, we do one-on-one training for older people. And we have about 12 clients that come in for one-on-one that are kind of on the older side. And we do no marketing for them. All of our marketing is geared towards our 40 to 60-year-old market. Doesn't mean we don't take them on as a customer, right? It just means that all of our focus is around the primary thing that we do. So sometimes some of you need to have a focus. It's kind of like being a steak restaurant and not making steak the number one thing you do. It's like you're a steak restaurant and you're spending all this time promoting your fish. And no one cares about the fish. They don't want the fish. They don't want your broccoli. They don't want your baked potato. They want your steak. And so your best bet is to tell them about the steak and to market the steak, not the baked potato. And I think some of us are marketing baked potatoes. We got all these different things that we're doing, and we're not making the main thing the main thing. One of my guys that I speak with on the Perform Better for Dan John, the goal is to keep the goal, right? Right. And so like focus, decide who it is. And then that's build your marketing plan around that person. If your goal is to make lots of money, then solve problems for people that have lots of money. Simple, right? If you are marketing to broke people, it's going to be very hard for you to make money. That is why I love the 40 to 60-year-old market. I love the 40 to 60-year-old market because they got money. And I'm telling you, in 5 to 10 years, they're going to have a shit ton of money. Oh my God, the transformation, Summit knows this, the transformation of wealth that's about to happen in that market is, oh my God, incredible. What the parents are dying, right? The parents are dying and then they're leaving the money to somebody, right? And not to mention that 40 to 60-year-old market has a bunch of money already saved. And in 20 years, the compounding of that money that they've already saved is going to be massive as well. Right? Because you understand money doubles every 10 years. And I did hear this, and I don't know if this is true, but it sounds like it makes sense. Money triples every 15 years. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm no economist, but it sounded like it made sense to me. Um, and so one of your most valuable marketing assets is a perfect client scouting report. It's a scouting report that tells you everything you know and need to know about your perfect client. Okay? If you can sit with this scouting report that tells you everything you need to know about your customer and what are the things that are going to make them buy, that is the most valuable piece of marketing collateral that you can own. Okay? And the cool thing is if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you the thing you need to do to get it. Okay? So that's a little hint, a little tease for you. Okay? Stay tuned. You don't want to, Edward, don't be going anywhere. Don't be going anywhere, Edward. All right. So 3 things you need to know about these guys. Okay. 3 things you need to know about the clients that you decide. Okay. Simple, right? Geographics. Where do they live? Right. There's certain towns, there's certain drive times that you're going to pick, for those people. Right. Simple, right? That we all know that. The second one is demographics. Right. And demographics are basically who they are as people. Who they are they male? Are they female? How old are they? It's the demographics are the facts about the person. Household income would be demographics. You know, home value would be demographic stuff. Like all that stuff would be like facts about the market. Okay. And those two, geographics and demographics, they are important, right? They are important. But that's a lot of times where people stop. And what people don't understand, what they need to understand is what's called psychographics. And psychographics are the things of the answer is the question, why do they buy? Why do they come to you? Why do they stay? And I will tell you this, and I said this yesterday, and it was like a bit like a earth shatter moment for my mastermind. Write this one down. The reasons of why people come to your gym are not the same as to why they stay. I'll say that again. The reasons of why people come to your gym are not the same as to why they stay. So if a lot of people stay for community, that's fine. But I probably think that we're not staring at the ceiling at night being like, I need more community. I need more. I need to just hang around more. Like they're not thinking that. They're thinking my freaking pants don't fit, damn it. They're thinking my spouse is not attracted to me anymore. Like that's what they're thinking. That's what they're staring at the ceiling at night, right? And so the psychographics are all done right here. These questions, right? These are the most important 10 questions that you could ever answer about your target market. Now, we're not going to go through them all. We're not going to answer them, all right? But these are the most important questions. And now I know what you're thinking right now. Vince, I need those questions. Vince, can you share those questions in the chat? Okay. Here's my second tease of the gift that you're going to get. My second tease is when you get your scouting report, this will all be answered for you. Okay? So just relax. You will have an opportunity to get those. Okay, so that's number 2. Okay, so we have know the numbers. We got to know the data. And now we have to understand who we're trying to get. Well, who are we trying to get? It's like if I'm going fishing and I'm just saying I want to go catch fish. I don't know what body of water. I can go to any body of water and just go fishing and throw a line in the water and hopefully catch something. But your better option is I want to go catch salmon. And if I want to go catch salmon, okay, where am I going? I'm going to see how smart you guys are. All right, if I'm going to go catch salmon, am I going to freshwater or saltwater? Type into the chat, freshwater or saltwater if I'm fishing for salmon. Let's just check. This is an IQ test. IQ test of the chat. What do you got for me? Uh, oh, well, someone said both. I is that possible or can salmon both? Okay, so maybe there's some. I always thought salmon was freshwater fish, but wow, I did not know this. Very, very interesting. Yeah, Atlantic salmon. Anyway, let's just pretend that salmon only swim in freshwater. That was a bad example. Well, you learn something new every day, right? Apparently, it's both. Uh, Cool. So, well, now I don't know another fish that's only one or the other, so I'm screwed with that example. I got to change that. I got a note to change all that in my examples. Okay. So let's move on. So we have the numbers, the data, we have the person. Okay, now the third thing is the marketing message. What are the things that we're going to say to these people, right? So your marketing message is what you say to your target market that grabs their attention. That's what your marketing message is. And there's really three components of your marketing message. Okay. The first one is what makes you different. And we're going to talk about that a little more. Okay. The second thing is the problems that you solve. And then the third one is the offers that you make. Those are the kind of the components of a really good marketing message, right? Those three things. What makes you different, the problems you solve, and then what are the offers we're putting out there? Okay, this is a really important thing to understand. Bad marketing is product and self-focused. Good marketing is client and problem focused. We can't make the marketing about us and our product. The worst thing to do is to talk about small group training. If I want to market small group training, the worst thing to do is to talk about the ratio and the small groups and all that crap. Because people aren't staring at the ceiling at night thinking about, I don't have a small group training personal trainer. They're going back to, what's my problem? And I want my problem solved. And your job is to communicate that you can solve their problems. That is your job in your marketing. Okay? Really important quote from Robert Collier: enter the conversation already taking place in the customer's mind. Famous marketing quote, something for you to memorize. Okay? One from me: great marketing gets them to say, I feel like you were talking to me. All right? And then remember, only assholes quote themselves by saying stuff like that. But I did it. Sorry. I think this is mine. I think I did invent this. Great marketing gets them to say, I feel like you were talking to me. And that came from someone telling me, when you wrote that ad, I feel like you're talking to me. Right? When someone says that to you, keep going. You are on the right track. You're going somewhere, young grasshopper. All right, so let's talk about some of the problems that we solve, because a lot of us are, I would imagine most of us are working with similar people, right? I would imagine that most of us are working with adults that want to get healthy, that want to get fit. That's the majority of the people that follow me. If you're a sports performance place, um, these don't apply. There's other problems, but for the sake of the majority, I think that the majority are working with adults, looking to get healthy and lose weight, right? So the first problem is the energy problem that they've got. Okay, now this is like kind of I've created an overarching theme for you guys. Like the energy is not, it's not only energy. This energy thing encompasses a bunch of things, right? But it's the functional, daily functional desire, the getting through the day without crashing, keeping up their kids, not relying on coffee, and just honestly feeling like themselves. Like energy is life, right? When we have more energy, we have more life, right? It's like when you die, what do? You run out of energy. So we want to go through life with energy. I mean, going through life with great energy is an absolute amazing thing. And a lot of our customers are not going through their lives with energy. And so what causes um, energy problems is all these things. Crash every noon, relying on coffee. I used to bounce out of bed. Now I struggle. Mental fog. I don't have energy to do the things I enjoy anymore. Um, all that stuff. Okay, so that's the first kind of real problem our market has. The second one is the confidence problem, right? That's the overarching theme. Okay, and this is the emotional and identity. I think that I said this yesterday on my call. If you think that someone in their 50s doesn't care about how they look, you are severely mistaken. You are severely mistaken. If you think that like, oh, my market doesn't care about how they look, they only care about, you know, being able to get on the floor and play with their grandkids. Like that's bullshit. That's untrue. Okay, people want to look good. And here's the thing. One of the most important things people want is to be envied. People want to be respected. This is the stuff that people don't talk about. But understanding and the deeper desires of your target market is a really, really important thing for you to understand. They want this. And I'll show you an example of how this created something very, very powerful in my marketing, right? And the third one is the health span problem. Every one of you should be following people like Andrew Huberman, David Sinclair, Peter Attia before the Epstein files and things like that, right? But these people, okay, these people are on the cutting edge of talking about this health span situation. Understand the difference between health span and lifespan. Lifespan is what our parents wanted. They wanted to live longer. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, okay? Both of my parents have passed away. I'm 46 years old. I am going to tell you that the last 10 years of both my mother and my father's life was absolute garbage. And they were probably better off dead. Sorry to get serious on you, but understand that this is like what people today want. They don't want that. They don't want what my parents went through to go through the last decade of their life incapacitated. They want to live a full life and then drop dead healthy. Health span. The second thing, and I bolded this, they do not want to be a burden. My biggest fear in life right now is I don't want to be a burden on my kids. When I'm 85 years old, I do not want to be a burden on my kids because I lived it. And it is a very, very hard thing for an adult with 3 young children to go through. It altered the course of my life, right? And that is my biggest fear. As a 46-year-old man, my biggest fear is becoming a burden to my children and dragging them through the mud and making them in the prime of their lives to have to go through that. That is a deathly fear of mine. Okay? And understand that your market has similar fears. And so we want to communicate this health span situation more than living longer. Okay, sorry to get serious on you for a second there. But those are all the problems there. Okay, so now we got to find ways to get, so those are the problems. But what I wanted to share with you guys is you have to be clear on the problems of your market. You have to be crystal clear of like, who is your market and what are their problems? I kind of just gave you the three main things, but if that's not your market, you're going to need to create that for yourself. Now, when I give you the gift at the end, you won't have to do any of this. It'll all be done for you. Okay? But at the end of the day, clarity on the problems that your market has and being able to communicate that in your marketing is going to take you a very, very long way. Okay? Now, the second piece of marketing message is how to communicate how you're different. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. There's 71 people on this call. If type in yes or no in the chat. If I was to call you out and ask you to unmute yourself and said, Edward, tell me and explain to me what makes your business different than the gym down the street. If I called on you right now, I'm not you, Edward, I just used an example. If I called on you right now, would you be willing in front of 71 people to unmute yourself and say the answer? Okay, yes or no? Good. A lot of yeses. I like it. I'm not going to do it because I don't like. Um, excellent. Okay. Excellent. 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 Okay. Good. Good. So what I'm going to do is teach you how to do it even better. Okay. For those of you that said yes. For those of you that said no, and I'm guessing the people that didn't type anything are no's too, right? That's my guess. I'm not sure. So there's three ways to communicate how you're different. Okay. There's three ways to communicate how your business is. The first is a unique mechanism. The second is a unique selling proposition, and the third is your three uniques. Okay, I'll go over these real quickly. Okay, so unique mechanism. This is this specific how behind the thing that gets your customers results. Okay, it is how your product or service delivers the result to your customer. What happens? Okay, the best example I can give you is with Orange Theory. I don't know if there's any Orange Theory people on this call, but brilliant, brilliant system. What is it? Well, if you just get your run on this treadmill like a hamster, okay, and you get your heart rate to this orange zone, all of a sudden the fat is going to start melting off your body because you're training in this orange zone, right? That's what their thing was, okay, and it worked, and it still works. It's still, I think they're. I don't know. Some of you would know better than me, but like I don't know how they're doing, or I don't know if I don't know. Okay, but at the end of the day, a brilliant, unique mechanism, absolutely brilliant. No one had that, and they were the first ones, the pioneers, to create something like that, and that's why they exploded. Okay, muscle confusion. You guys remember that? Okay, there's a company called P90X, right? And they started talking about muscle confusion. Well, what the hell is muscle confusion? Well, muscle confusion is a total body workout. That's what muscle confusion is. We're going to train your shoulders and your legs in the same day, and we're going to confuse your muscles. And all of a sudden, when we confuse your muscles, we're going to burn lots of fat. It's like complete hogwash. Okay. But that was their thing. That was your unique mechanism. That was the way that their product delivered results. That is a way to do it. Okay. It is a way, not the way. Okay. And I think the other two are probably going to be a little bit more resonant with you guys. The second thing is your three uniques. Okay. And the three uniques are the three things that make you different. Meaning, let's say Molly does, really, really good at personalized fitness. But then there's someone else down the street from her that also does really good personalized fitness. And if you just compared those two things, you'd be the same. Okay. So three uniques, what it does is it takes three things that you do. Okay. Three things that you do. And the goal is that no one can do all three things the way you do those three things. Okay. So it's a little different. Unique mechanism is one thing, whereas three uniques is three things that no one else does those three things the way you do it. And I'll give you an example from one of our customers, which is Synergy Athletics. Their three uniques are personalized fitness, life happens scheduling, okay, meaning they have a specific way that they schedule that makes it it solves a problem for that market, and got your back promise, which is focusing on the other 23 hours of the day. There's no other gym in this Binghamton area that does these three things the way they do those things. And if you look at their website, Synergy Athletics, right, this is front and center on the website. It's used in their marketing, it's communicated, and it's going to resonate with people because those things solve problems for people. Okay. The third one is your unique selling proposition. And this is really just simple. It's a statement. Okay. It's a one statement that basically is who you help, what do you do, what result do you get them, and then how do you do it without the pain or problem that they experience. Okay, that's the formula for a unique selling proposition. Okay, I help people age 40 plus lose weight, gain energy, and live a more active life without fad diets or workouts that beat up your body. Okay, that's a good unique selling proposition. You need one of these three. You can pick which one you want. Doesn't matter to me. I'll put this one in the chat for you guys because I think this is actually a good one. So that's in the chat. This is a USP formula. But this is a really good one. It's like the simplest one. It's very easy. But like if someone asks you, well, what makes your business different? Well, we help people age 40 plus lose weight, gain energy, live a more active life without fad diets or workouts that beat up your body. And that's what makes your business different. You want to have some kind of a statement. You want to be able to explain that very clearly. Okay? So we have data, numbers. We have people that we're marketing to. We have messages that go to those people. Okay, now we have the third thing, right, which is how do we get the message to the market? What is the thing that we use to get the message to the market? This is your Facebook ad. This is your email. This is your website. This is all the things that are happening to make it happen. Okay. So, and I'll use the term media to describe those things, right? So a form of media, a newspaper is a form of media, Facebook is a form of media. All of that is a form of media. Okay, so the first thing I want you to understand is the worst number in marketing is one. Okay, the worst number in marketing is one. Hey, Bree, I'm going to ask you to mute your audio if you can. Thanks. Okay, cool. And understand this is like here's what like happened in 2016. Everyone was putting pieces of dog poop on Facebook and getting 100 leads for $0. That's like what it was like. It was so easy. And then Facebook changed their algorithm and everyone panicked and freaked out. And they went from getting 100 customers a week to 0 because they put all their eggs in one basket. They relied on one thing. And when you rely on one thing, it seriously puts your business at risk. And you don't want to put your business at risk by only relying on one thing. Okay? So what you want is multiple. Okay? And I'll show you a good example of a good balanced marketing approach that helps you get the message to the market. Okay? But this second phrase is really important. It's called more, better, new. Okay? More, better, new. And one of the things that you want to do is you want to identify what are the things that are actually working for you right now. And the simple way to do that is to ask yourself, where did my last 20 customers come from? Right. So what you would do is you would basically look and say, all right, my last 20 customers, write their names on a piece of paper. And then to the right of them, write down the marketing source that brought them in. You know, Edward Haas came in through website. Summit Seth came in through Facebook. Nora came in through the newspaper. Molly came in through, you know, the free book download. Okay. And what you do is you list out your 20 customers. And what you're getting when you get that list is you're getting reality. You're getting what actually is working. And I think sometimes what we try to do is we reinvent the wheel. We don't realize that every one of you has stuff that is working. Maybe you have an A-frame side and someone scans it and it's working. Every one of you has stuff that is working. Okay. And so a very simple way to get better at marketing, a very simple way to amp up your marketing is like, hey, this is working. How about I do this a little bit more? Hey, emails are working. How many emails are you sending? One a week. How many customers are you getting? One customer from one email. Great. Imagine if you sent 2. Do you get what I'm saying? Like sometimes results are right in front of us. Every one of you are getting results. It may not be the results that you want. It may not be as fast as you want it, but every one of you are getting results. Unless you have 0 customers, right? Every one of you has gotten hopefully 20 customers. Tell me where they came from. Perfect. Do more of that. They came from referrals. Great. Are you doing anything to generate referrals? No, that one happened by accident. All right, let's do something to generate referrals because obviously people are referring your business. So sometimes we overcomplicate this. We overcomplicate this marketing thing. It's like, you know, just do more. Do more of that. Send another email. Do another bring a friend day. Oh, you're doing a bring a friend day twice a year? Perfect. And you got 2 customers from it? Awesome. Give me 4. Let's do it every quarter. Sometimes we just got to do a little more of what already does work. Okay. Um, and then after more is better, right? If you're writing emails, just start writing better emails. Learn how to write better emails. If you write better emails, they're probably going to work better, right? So now you got to like amp up your skill set and do that. But every one of you has stuff that's working. It's just now like we look at it and say, all right, how do I make this happen more often? What do I need to do? And sometimes it's just a little bit more of that. Okay. Um, And so here I'm going to give you some different categories of how you can get new customers. Okay, I kind of created these 3 different categories. The first category is where customers come from is relationship category. Okay, and these are like, very referral and relationship driven. Okay, so a referral from a member is in this category. A past customer that comes back is in this category. Uh, Networking groups would be in this category and things like that. Okay, so we want to have some things happening in this category. Right? The second category is digital, right? We want to have some digital things going. Okay, we want to have a good website. You need a good website. We want to have maybe you're a paid ads guy, and I know I did mention without paid ads, but I'm not going to say that you should not do paid ads. That my purpose of this talk was how to get you customers without paid ads. Okay, but it also isn't a good option if you're going to do it. Okay. Email would be considered digital, website, online newspapers, all that would be considered digital. And then community, right? This is joint ventures, seminars and workshops, print marketing. I would put under community, community events, 5K sign auctions. And so ideally what we want to do is a good even balance of these 3 sources. Ideally, if our marketing is well balanced and we're going to protect that there's maybe one thing that we're doing to generate member referrals, there's maybe one thing we're doing to, generate clients from our website, and there's a joint ventures that we're doing, right? Ideally, there's a good balance and a flow between these 3. Now, I think what I find a lot of people is they're like either all here or they're all here or they're all here. And we're risking these things drying up when we do that. So ideally, we have a minimum of 1 of each in the category. Here's what a good balance would look like. So this is kind of like what my business is using right now. I'm not saying you have to do all 6, but I'm just giving you an example of what a well-balanced marketing glove would look like. Okay, 1, you have an optimized website. I can't stress enough how important it is your website is to set up to convert. Your website should not be a static brochure. Your website should be set up to convert. Okay, we want a referral system. Okay, well that's things in place that are generating referrals, things that you're doing to generate referrals. Okay, I love email. I'm going to show you some examples of some emails in a second. Okay, of how you can do it. I do love Facebook ads. I know I said this was not without Facebook ads, but again, Facebook ads can be a piece of your marketing, and probably they should be, with realistic expectations of them. Go see my friends at Gym Member Machine if you need someone to run your ads for you. Okay, I don't do ad management. JV community events, as we're doing right now, and then print. Okay, and I'm going to show you one of our print articles. Okay, and I promised in my copy of promoting this that I would share with you the text for unconverted leads. And here it is. If you have a lead list of people that opted in for something over the years, ideally they are going to a list called unconverted leads, meaning leads you generated that never did anything. Okay? Send them this. And I'm going to think you'd probably be happy with the results. There you go. Text to send to unconverted leads. You could also do it in an email too, but either way. But it's like, are you still interested in doing print? Sometimes it just kicks people over the edge. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm still interested, in that. Because understand this, and I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about next month in this. But it's really, really important that you understand that the fortune is in the follow-up. Okay? Really important that you understand that. All right, last piece, putting it all together. How do we make this a system? Okay. Understand that before we do anything, we have to get clarity on the market, clarity on the message. Hopefully you have that. Okay. Um, Complexity is the enemy of execution. If you make your marketing too hard, okay, it's not going to get done. And so what we want to do is keep this simple. So I'm going to show you a simple way to do this. Okay. You do not need an annual marketing plan. You do not need a full plan for the year. Okay. Oh, I see some heads picking up. You don't. All you need is a plan for the quarter. You need a 3-month plan. And you need to sit down 4 times a year and create your 3-month plan. Okay. So I want you to sit down 6 weeks prior to a quarter that starts. So if a quarter starts on June 1st, right? I'll just go, let's say March 1st. So let's say a quarter starts on March 1st. We want to, January 15th is when we want to sit down and do the marketing 6 weeks prior. Okay. So whatever it is, book your calendar 6 weeks prior to the start of a quarter, sit down for an hour, for 2 hours, and I want you to write down everything you're going to do for marketing for 90 days, for 3 months. And that's all you need to do, 90 days in advance. Okay. I don't know where I'm going to be in a year. All right. Just do 90 days. Okay. And write down everything you're going to do in the months of March, April, and May for marketing. Okay. Third thing is give yourself some marketing boundaries. Some marketing boundaries. And these are basically a marketing boundary is I will send 3 emails a week. They're like kind of micro commitments. You're committing to something. Like about 10 years ago, I committed to doing an email every day. Okay. And it's simple for me because I can't go to sleep without writing an email. I'm not allowed to. Okay. And when you commit to something, that you know what to do. And it kind of goes back to the numbers. What does the numbers do? It tell us what success looks like. What success looks like for you is you send 3 emails. If you decide and understand, if you want to improve your confidence, you do the things you said you were going to do. That is how you improve confidence. So if you say you're going to send 2 emails a week and you send 2 emails a week, you're improving your confidence. If you say you're going to send 2 emails a week and you don't, you're telling yourself you don't trust yourself. So it's important for you to pick things that you know you're going to be able to do and manage. It's like, hey, if you're going 0 emails a week and you say, I'm going to send 10 emails a week, that's probably going to set yourself up for failure. So don't set yourself up for failure, but understand when you commit to doing the things that you said you were going to do, good things will happen. Pro tip, always, always, always start your plan with what worked well last year. I don't know why we do this. We're so dumb. I'm dumb. You're dumb. We're all dumb. We do stuff that works, and then we don't do it again. I'm dumb. You're dumb. We're all dumb. We all do it. It's crazy. If the Bring a Friend Day worked last year in March and you got 5 new customers for it, you are insane if you don't do it again. You have something that worked. Just do it again. And so the best thing you could do is when you sit down to write, what am I going to do for marketing in March and April and May? Well, the first question you ask yourself was, well, what worked last year? And if it worked last year, just do it again. Just put it back on the calendar. If the 5K that you showed up to generated 25 leads and 2 customers, you should do it again. You should go to that 5K again. Don't say like, oh, I don't know. Should I think about it? What do you think about it? No. Just do it because it worked. And that's why it's so important to track. That's why I started with the numbers. Because if you don't know what works, then you don't know what to do. So you got to find out what works. Okay. Here's a quick example of what what this could look like. Right. I'm not saying you need to do this. Okay. But I'm just saying this is as simple as I want you to make it. Okay. Here's what I'm doing to market my gym in March. I'm sending 3 emails a week to my list. One Monday is going to be a problem solution email. Wednesday is going to be a client testimonial email. Friday is going to be a story and a key insight email. Okay. 2, I'm going to post daily on Facebook and Instagram. Stuff that happens in the gym. And then the call to action is going to be to drive them to click the link in the bio or send us a direct message. Okay. 1 post a day. giving you some boundaries. Okay. In the month of March, we're going to pick 1 week out of the month that we're going to bring a friend week. And it's going to be an internal promotion that we're going to promote through email, a private Facebook page, flyers, and announcements. I'm also going to run an ad in the local newspaper. I know what you're thinking. Vince, newspapers don't exist anymore. No one, the newspapers, they're actually, there's no more trees because there's no more paper. They cut all the trees down. There's no paper. No, there is newspapers. And I'm going to show you one. I have one right here. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm going to put it in the screen in a second and show you how well it actually is working. Um, 5, you could run some Facebook ads, drive to a 14-day trial. And then 6, attend a local 5K race. You just go, there's a booth, you set up the table, you generate leads by all raffling off a 90-day membership, right? And that is the simplest marketing plan that I could give you. It's just like, all right, here's what we're going to do. This is how we're going to get the leads. And then you track it and see what worked and see what didn't. And then from there, you rinse and repeat. Now, what's not on this plan is the description of the client, right? Which we need to have. Like, we can't do this stuff without understanding and knowing what we're going to say in those things, right? But at the end of the day, sometimes we just need the marching orders. This is what I'm doing to market my gym in March. This is what I'm doing to market my gym in April. This is what I'm doing to market my gym in May. One sheet of paper, put it right in front of you, and go do it. Because complexity is the enemy of execution. Okay? So here's the recap. You need to know your goals and track them weekly on your scoreboard. You need a scouting report that tells you everything about your perfect clients. You need a clear, documented marketing message, right? And you can pick one of the 3 that I shared with you. You need 3 to 5 ways to generate leads. Okay? And you need a simple and documented plan for all this to happen. Okay? I just explained for you a marketing strategy, right? That is the plan for success. That's what a marketing strategy is. Am I expecting you to get this overnight? No, that's not the point. The point is for me is to communicate what you need to work towards, what will work long term. Because I promise you this, if I sent you a specific ad and gave you in one of my ads that worked, yes, it will work, but it will only work for a certain period of time. I want to teach you how to fish, not give you the fish. Today was teaching you how to fish. I gave you the foundational principles of marketing. You now know more about marketing than someone that got the MBA from Stanford because they're teaching them about branding. And I'm teaching you about results. Write this down. In marketing, results rule. We want to do what works. If we do something and it doesn't work, we don't do it again. If we do something and it works, we do it again. And that is what I want you to become obsessed with. Doing stuff, seeing if it works, seeing if it doesn't, trying something else. All marketing is a test. All marketing is a test. This worked, this didn't. Fine. Not emotional. Don't beat yourself up. Blah, 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 blah. No, just understand that what you did either worked or didn't. Okay? Next month masterclass, that I'll do one of these a month now, is fixing the sales at your gym. So I'll talk more about the sales process. So like what happens after the lead generates and what are the things that are breaking down. That'll probably be next month. I don't know how the date yet. But we'll get into, so today was more of the marketing side and we'll get into more of the sales side. It'll be same kind of concept as today, same kind of teaching principle. I don't know what I did there. I did spirit fingers. I didn't mean to do that. But fixing the sales at your gym. Okay. I want to explain this to you really quickly. There are 4 stages of all of us. Every one of you are in one of these 4 stages. Some of you are in the creating stage, 0 to 20K. Some of you are in the building stage, 20 to 50K. Some of you are at the prime stage, you're building an organization. And some of you are scaling. Okay. Every one of you probably can see yourself in one of these places. Understand is that every one of these areas, there are certain skill sets that you need to learn and understand to be able to break through to the next stage. And failure to break through, failure to get enough customers in the creating stage will never get you to be at this stage. And so this is how it works. It's just one stage after the next, and the bottleneck, the thing in the way, is the owner not understanding the skill set and the owner not learning the things that it needs to do and prioritize that to be able to get to the next level. Okay? And so we have this thing, and again, I know many of you, hopefully you got value from today's call. If you want to take the next step with us, okay, and again, I told you there was no pitch. This isn't a pitch because this is me helping you for free. Okay, so we have what's called the 4 stages call. And the 4 stages call is essentially identifying where you are now, deciding with you where you want to go, specifically giving you clarity on what are the 3 to 5 things that are most important for you to focus on right now to be able to get from here to here, or from here to here, or from here to here. And that's what I want to do in the call. I'm not going to be able to get you to the next stage on the call, but I want to give you the 3 to 5 things that you need to focus on to be able to get to the next call. Okay? The call is free. It's 60 minutes. It's with a member of my staff, and we will take you through and lead you through this process. Okay? If by the end of the call you feel like you want more help, we can tell you about what we do. Okay? But the purpose of the call is to help you with these 3 things. All right? Here's the link to book the call. I think Tom put it in there, but I will put it in there too.
I put it in.
You put it in? Okay. Thank you. That is the link to book the call. Now, I have rewards. If you want to book the call, okay, I have a very special gift for you if you do book the call while we're on the phone today, okay? And here is the bonus for booking a call. You're going to get a bonus for allowing me to help you more for free. This sounds like very one-sided, guys. This sounds like I'm doing everything for you and you ain't doing shit for me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right. But there's a bonus if you book the call, and you got to book the call while we're on. Okay. Here it is. You ready for it? So I wrote this newspaper article. Here's the actual. This is the run, if you can see that. That says April. Okay. I ran this in March. The March. This newspaper comes out monthly. And so I ran it in March. This is the April edition because it worked so well. I just did it again. I just kept it in there and ran it again. Okay. And basically what I did is I sat down and I was like, all right, if I'm going to take out and pay all this money for a full page newspaper ad, one, I got to make sure it works. Okay. So I put my marketing hat on and I used all the principles that I taught you guys today. And I was like, what needs to happen for someone to get this newspaper in the mail, for someone to read the article, for someone to scan a QR code, for someone to put their name and email in an opt-in form, for someone to contact us, for someone to show up to a consultation, and then for someone to pay $500 for a membership? Seems like a tall order. What does this need to say to be able to have this happen? Okay. Well, I will tell you, this has already generated 11 trial memberships, and two of the 11 have already converted. Okay, from this newspaper ad. All right, so it's still going. Like I'll be able to use this ad for a really, really long time. And so what I did was I said like, all right, what are the principles of this newspaper that worked? What are the things that I did in this article that actually worked? Okay, and what I did is I created a tool that you guys will be able to use to be able to write like this. Okay, And understand this, and here's a good example of marketing message, right? So this is the last paragraph of the article. That's this one right here. But this is the last paragraph. I'm going to read it to you. Adults over 40 face a perfect storm of demands that make fitness more critical and more challenging than ever before. They're in the prime of their careers, often in leadership roles where the pressure is relentless and the hours are long. They're raising children or supporting aging parents, sometimes both at the same time. Their stress levels are high, their metabolism is slowing down, and their bodies don't recover like they used to. Yet this is precisely when they need their health to be in energy most, to perform at work, to be present for their families, to enjoy the success they've worked so hard to build, and to avoid the chronic diseases that affected their parents. The cruel irony is that when fitness matters most, it's also when finding time for it feels nearly impossible. That's why adults over 40 don't need another generic membership. They need expert guidance designed specifically for your unique challenges, their busy schedules, and their refusal to accept that their best years are behind them. Okay? So, what am I talking about there? I'm talking about them. I'm talking about the problems that they've got. And I'm talking about what is the bridge? What's the solution that's going to help them get there? Right? That's the kind of thing we want to be able to write. That's the kind of marketing we want to be able to do. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you how you can do this too without being me. Okay? So here it is. From this article, I went to my friend Claude and I created this. I know many of you are not going to do newspaper ads, and that's fine. But I know every one of you are probably sending emails. Okay, so I created, based on the principles of this newspaper ad, what's called the testimonial email builder. Okay, I'm going to show you how it works very quickly. It takes about 2 minutes to do. But what you're going to do is, if you book the call today, I'm going to give you access to this testimonial builder. Okay, you ready? Here it is. So what we're doing is envision a story of one of your customers. Actually, Kevin, can you unmute yourself and tell me the name of one of your customers?
Deborah.
Okay, so I'm just going to put Deb. All right, so what you're doing is as you're going through this, I want you to make believe and put into your mind one of your customers that you're going to write a story about. Okay, one of your customers that you're going to write a story about. All right, so let me put this next. Here's the question. How old are they and what stage of life? And I'm going to put working mom and dad. What city do they live in? I'm going to put your city. I'll just put Berkeley Heights. How would you have described them before joining? Let's call always tired. What were their specific physical complaints before starting? Let's call it low energy and fatigue. How did they feel about themselves? I'm going to put feel like they lost themselves. What have they tried before coming to you and why did it fail? I'll put big box gym and I'll put personal training elsewhere. What made them finally walk through the door? I love this one, an upcoming event. What were they afraid of when they first got started? Let's call it not being fit enough to start, which there's always people say that all the time. What surprised them most about your gym or program? Let's call it how quickly they saw results. How did they train? Smoke or personal training. Did community coaches play a role? Yep. Coaches noticed when they missed a session. Accountability. What specific physical changes? Let's put eliminated chronic pain, improve energy. Was there a specific moment when they realized how far they'd come? Let's call it special event. How is their life different now? More energy. I feel better at 60 than I did at 50. All right, so you basically put a quote in of like something one of your clients said, like in the test, you could pull from their testimonial or Google review. What you're just saying, we'll just put GFP. All right, describe who you serve in one sentence, adults 40 to 65. Free trial, I'll just put 14-day trial. And then link URL www.gabrielefitness.com. All right, and here's what happens. It gives you this prompt. Okay, and so what you do is you copy this prompt, and then you put it into your whatever you want. You can put it into Claude, you can put it into ChatGPT, whatever you want. You just take this prompt and you paste it. And can someone give me some Jeopardy music? Dun, oh, we didn't even need it. Da, 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 there it is. Ba, 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 ba. Do, 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 do. And there's your email for the week, folks. My principles, my voice, my writing. Okay. And when I say my voice, doesn't mean that you can't take this and make it your own, but that's essentially the tool. And I will say this, the most powerful law of persuasion is social proof. So specifically putting out stories on a regular basis that are going to get people to be inspired, which is what happened with this newspaper ad. It's going to take you a long way. Okay. So if you book the call, in your after you book the call, in your follow-up, we'll send you the link for that Claude builder, testimony email builder. Okay. All you got to do is book the call, and we'll put that link in. Now, I know I did promise a gift for everybody, and so let me go to that. So the gift for everybody is going to be this ideal client avatar profile. Okay, remember I talked to you about how important it is for you to have a playbook or a profile of your perfect customer. Okay, now here's one I created for my business, for my gym. Okay, and it basically is, there's a primary avatar of a woman, but a male is a secondary. So we have about 70% women and then 30% men. So it gave me two avatars within this. But it does the demographics, right? So it gives you basic demographics of it. It talks about the psychographics, which I talked about before. So it gives the values, the personality, the beliefs. Okay. It talks about unique interests outside of the gym. Okay. It talks about their frustrations. What are the things they're frustrated by? Roadblocks. What stopped them before? So it kind of gives them that. What are their dream outcomes? What are the things they actually want? Success in their own words. Where do they spend time? Like what things they're at? Social platforms, podcasts, email lists. Then we get into the 10 questions. So remember, I talked about those 10 questions before. All right, we get into what keeps them awake at night. Boom, this is the answer. What are they afraid of? What are they angry at? All right, so all the answers to the questions that I talked about earlier there, all that stuff. And then current situation, it gives a cool story of their day. So what's a typical day in the life of your market, which is really powerful. And then, yeah, so a whole different deep dive report of your market. Okay. The only thing you need to do to get this is take this prompt. Here's the prompt. Now it's long. Oh, is you take this prompt and you put it into your ChatGPT or whatever you want, and it will spit out that. Now, the way it does it is, but for your specific market, is right here. So the prompt says, before you build this profile, ask me 5 to 7 questions in multiple choice form to help give you all the context you need about my ideal client. So you're going to have to answer some questions about your market. But when you answer those questions, and then it'll spit you out a report that looks just like this. My gift for you today for showing up. Okay. I believe that link to get this is in the chat. Tom, did you put that link in the chat for me?
Sorry, wrong one. Give me a second. Too many links, man. You got 500 links here.
Yep. So put that link in the chat so they can get the avatar. Everyone on this call
I
should
got
get
you.
it, whether they book a call or not. You don't have to book a call to get this. This is for showing up today. You get the email testimonial builder if you book the call. But everyone that showed up gets this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 2 minutes and I'm going to give you some 2 minutes of thinking time to go and think about what question you want to ask me. Okay, because I'm going to stay on for some Q&A. Okay, so give me 2 minutes. While I'm gone, I want you to think about what questions you have, and then I'll stay on as long as we need to for Q&A. All right?
Vince, you good with me though? I'm gonna run
Yep.
upstairs.
Yep, you're good. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is Q&A. This is where we can, get a lot of cool stuff. Okay, Q&A. The way we'll do this, if you want to ask your question by typing it in the chat, you can do this. I prefer for you to unmute because this is, we are like at 50% still on the call after 90 minutes. This is like, you guys are making masterclass history by staying on this long. This is crazy. So thank you guys. Um, so yeah, so I'll answer the question if you type it into the chat. But also would prefer you to unmute and ask the question so I can maybe ask a question back to you. Um, you don't have to ask a question, but it's very helpful if you do. Usually it takes one courageous person to do it, to get the ball rolling. Um, oh, we got Craig. There you go, brother. Very good.
Okay, I'll start with the usual first time. I listened to a lot of your podcasts, so I feel like very familiar. You've been on a lot of road trips with me, Vince.
Very
Not
cool.
physically your voice in the car. So I'll get right to that. I've been in business for 25 years, so I'm in that, trying to grow and scale area. I'm located in a downtown business district in Vancouver, Canada. Lots of businesses near me. I was thinking of doing LinkedIn outreach. So I walked around a couple like big office towers and snapped like the picture of the directory to get like what businesses are there. Um, and so I'm curious if you've ever done LinkedIn cold outreach, and if so, strategy you would use.
Yeah, I have not personally.
Okay.
I do know a bunch of people that have done it, and it's a very, I do know some guy tried to sell me a package to do it. Like he basically, there's a whole system behind how to get new customers from LinkedIn. Um, Personally, I wouldn't be able to tell you, okay,
Okay.
on how to do it. But I do know there are probably people that do this that you could get a system very easily from. I probably think it's better to do that than actually just make something up from scratch and just
Yeah.
try and throw something against a wall. Because I do know for certain that there are systems built around this. There are LinkedIn cold DMs. I get them all the time. Like in LinkedIn, I could tell like it's from a process. Now, do they work on me? No. but it's worth a shot. Craig, let me ask, what is the thing you're trying to do? Like, is this just to get new customers? Is just another
Just new
source for
customers in the
leads?
door. We opened during COVID, and
Okay,
so this is our third location. So we opened this third location in this business district during COVID.
cool.
So we were kind of like taping the floor and adjusting as they change the rules constantly. So now that's kind of passed, and it's been 3 years in one location. I'm like, I haven't even been really out for lunch in the neighborhood. Like, I don't know what's around. I'm like, there's all these. Just in a small research in the three towers I went into, I got a list of 2,500 people that probably make enough to afford working out.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, what do I
yeah.
do with this list? That's cold, ice cold. Like, they don't know me. They didn't know that my gym opened during COVID. So where do you go with that?
Yeah. So yeah, the answer to your question, full disclosure, the answer to your LinkedIn specific question, I'm not sure. But what I would do is find someone that does specialize in that. I will add some things about what I think you could do
Sure. Yeah.
from a cold standpoint, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
I think one of the things that, so I looked around in my gym and I was like, man, there's a lot of lawyers that train here. And I was just like, wait a minute, there's a lot of them. And I was like, well, what if I started doing marketing to lawyers, like specifically, right? And actually specifically created a campaign for all the local law firms. And I created a combo of a couple of different options. So the first thing you can do is you go to the actual firms and you try to do, regular joint venture stuff where you do a lunch and learn or you do an event at your business or you do something like that. Okay, but the reason why I like lawyers is because a lot of times those people have the finances to be able to train with
100%.
us, right? And so like if there's a business that has like 25 lawyers, that's 25 people that are probably making three to $500,000 a year, right? That easily can afford what we do. So it's kind of like, and then the second thing is, and I can actually show you, actually funny, do you want me to pull it up and show you
Yeah.
what I used? Um,
I was going to say that that's the basic. I was going to try and offer a free lunch and learn kind of thing, like on the cold
yeah,
open, like, and then follow up with anyone I connect with, like drop off a smoothie or something for them. And then that's like a conversation point. It's like,
yeah.
oh, like here's a smoothie from next door.
All right, so let me, I'll pull this up. I always like to, hold on. This is a funny one. And this is just an example. Like, I don't think you need to do lawyers, but like, I'm just thinking like find the market that you're helping a lot of and then go direct to them. Right?
Yeah,
Versus going
100%.
big blanket, because LinkedIn, it's like everybody, right? Versus let's get almost narrower and say, all right, lawyers, financial advisors, and like people that we know can afford what we do, and then go to them. So here's the the letter. I hope this email finds you well. My name is Vince Gabriele, I'm the owner of Gabriele Fitness Berkeley Heights. We're a private by appointment personal training facility that helps adults lose weight. So basically, elevator pitch, right? My facility is 9 minutes from your office. I'm sending this letter because I was recently looking around at my clients at my gym and realized that we have a lot, surprisingly odd and large amount number of lawyers that train with us. So basically, it's like people like us do things like them. It's the Seth Godin line, right? It's like, well, you're a lawyer, and I got lots of people that are lawyers like you that are doing this with me. I'm not sure why, since I've never done any direct marketing to lawyers, but I found it pretty interesting. Anyway, since I figured that lawyers typically work long hours, spend a lot of time sitting, reading, and writing, I may and I may not have a ton of time for I think that's the typo. If you're a workout buff, please accept my apologies in advance. I went a little deeper and started talking to some of them, other lawyers, and why they train with us. And here's what some of them said. Please don't take this as some type of infomercial or something like that. These quotes are pulled from direct conversations, and these are all true. Okay. And what I did was I got testimonials from the lawyers. I got like, why do you train here? Why do you like training here? And I basically put the quotes in for that. And those are the quotes.
And you mailed this. This was direct mail.
Uh, no, email. Email.
Email.
Yeah,
How did you get
email.
their email list? Like their
I would
emails?
go right to, so if you go to like a local law firm, there's two options. Okay. The first option is you go to the gatekeeper and you get the gatekeeper to send it for you, or you can go on their
Scrape
email.
their
Yeah,
email.
you basically screw because a lot of times it ends in the same one.
Yeah.
It's like first name, first initial, and a lot of this is public information. They can just send it. But that's yeah, that's what we did. Just cold reach out.
Okay.
And then yeah, the what's the call to action was just basically a reply if you want to chat,
Yeah.
right?
That's awesome.
But something like that is like
That's
Do you want me to give that to you?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, what's your email?
That's Craig at precisionathletics.ca. Precision athletics, all one word, .ca.
There
Awesome.
you go,
Thanks,
brother.
man.
You got it, man.
Great
Hopefully,
stuff.
yeah, use a variation of that, but it's like, you know, hopefully that's something like that. But I think that's kind of like the angle maybe to go is like if you're gonna do cold stuff, like go cold, but like go find a niche that's like, all right, I'm already working with these people. I'm already doing stuff like this. I got testimonials that can back it up by people that I'm working with. So I'd maybe go that route. But try the LinkedIn thing and see how it works. Let me know how it works too
Yeah,
on
I will. I'll
LinkedIn.
report
Yeah.
back. Yeah. It's, I mean, I don't know if it's a great strategy if you're in a rural area or, right? Like, like you can, like I walked to the places to get these list of companies. It was easy. Like
Yeah.
I was going to the bank anyway. So figured out way
Yeah, they're
back.
close. They're close. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Cool. Awesome, man.
Awesome. Thanks.
Good luck. Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Cool. Lindsay, do you have a question or are you just checking your email? Lindsay, you had question face. A lot of times people like they look at it with me like these eyes and they like it looks like they have a question. Um,
I do have well,
awesome.
kind of a question.
What's up?
I was just kind of looking at our numbers as far as like where our referrals are coming in on a lot of them are honestly just coming through like Google and I would assume maybe like ChatGPT or something like that.
Yep.
So just thinking of like expanding and doing more of that. I'm not the owner, so the owner obviously manages like Google Ads and stuff, but is there anything that you recommend to kind of tap into utilizing that more? I know like ChatGPT is kind of going to become
Yeah.
the new Google and how we
Yeah.
can put ourselves in a better place for that too.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a lot to unpack here. And there's so next Tuesday I have a private thing I'm doing with a girl who's an expert, if you can call her that, in AEO. And so what you're talking about is something called answer engine optimization. Okay. And so SEO is how do we tweak our presence on Google, right, to get a better ranking. So if someone types in into Google gym near me, we come up more often, right? Now, a lot of times it's the pay to play, right? If you pay for SEO, a lot of times it's like, all right, I'm going to pay all this money. And then for years, like in my community, Lifetime Fitness, who's a big gym, they were number one for gyms in my area in Berkeley Heights. We're in the exact same town, right? But answer engine optimization is different. Answer engine optimization is what are the things that you optimize for so that when somebody types into ChatGPT or Claude, what's the best gym for personal training? It's not a pay to play situation anymore. It's an authority play. It's they are picking the way it's working is they are picking the biggest authority that would possibly be the best recommendation. Whereas Google, it's based on who pays. This is based on authority. Okay. And so there's a lot of things that need to be in place for this to happen. I mean, we're like, I could really go down the rabbit hole with you, but I'll give you a couple things. One, Google reviews. The cool thing is a lot of the same principles. I talked about GR Hoff from Gym Member Machine, right? A lot of the same principles, if you have really good SEO, a lot of the same principles will apply to AEO. So if you're doing a really good job in SEO, a lot of the same principles will apply. There are some differentiators, okay? But the first thing is you have to get good with Google reviews. Okay, if you got one Google review a week for the next 52 weeks, you'll have 52 more Google reviews. Okay, I like to see gyms that have 200 at least, right? 200 Google reviews at least. Okay, but if you just said, I'm going to make it a metric in my company to get one Google review every week, you'll have 52 more than you have right now. Okay, and that's a really powerful thing. Now, the other thing is what do the Google reviews say? This is a really important piece because it's not about Lindsay's really cool and Lindsay's really smart and Lindsay has great workouts. What they're looking for is the transformation. Before One Fitness, I was here. Now I am here. That is what you want. Now, what you need to start doing is guiding your people to write you good Google reviews, teaching and educating your clients on how to give you good Google. If you look at my brochure, so I have a brochure for my mastermind group, and if you look at my brochure, all of the testimonials follow the same process because I train them how to do it. It all started with before SPF, I was here. Now, after SPF, I am here. It basically has some form of that, right? Because I realize that what people are looking for is what they did work. Did it help? Not how nice Vince is, not how Vince is like an uncle to me. Like that couldn't be anything like that's useless, right? But I was here. Now I'm here. Giancarlo, one of my clients, I was doing $8,000 a month, and now I'm doing $160,000 a month. It's a pretty powerful testimonial. Okay. You are going to want to do awards are good. Awards are helpful. Like if you get award, best voted best gym, legit awards. YouTube content is very powerful in that. It's recognizing YouTube content. So there's things to do to be that, but understanding how it works is something called share of voice. Okay, share of voice. So it's not like if I type in, where's your business located?
We're in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. Okay, cool. Oh, it's funny. Quick funny story. I uh, last night my kids are doing the capitals right now. And so my wife and I was like, let's try it. And we sat down, um, and uh, my wife and I, we sat down, we filled out a blank map and tried to get all 50 states and all 50 capitals. Um, I ended up getting an 89 out of 100, but I messed up. I messed Minnesota for some reason. I messed up Minnesota and Wisconsin. So I'm sorry. I messed up Minnesota for you. Um,
I think that's a pretty typical mistake.
yeah, is it? Okay. Um, so, but let's just say someone types into, um, ChatGPT, what's the best? Where was I going with this? What was I actually going to say? I lost my train of thought. I got distracted by my thing. You might not even know.
Share a voice.
Share a voice. Thank you. You're the best, Melissa. So share a voice. So I could type in best gym in Minnesota, or it's probably not going to be Minnesota. It's probably going to be like your community, right? And I could type that into ChatGPT, and 10 minutes later, I could type it into ChatGPT and get a different answer. In Google, it doesn't work like that. If I type best gym, in New Jersey or best gym in Berkeley Heights into Google, and 10 minutes later I do it, you're getting the exact same answer. This doesn't work that way. And so what it does is this is called share of voice. It takes the highest percentage and that's your goal, is to be so strong and to be so powerful from an authority standpoint that a higher percentage of the time it makes you one of the top choices. So, and typically there's only 3 to 5 choices. Usually the recommendations. So I took my son to a jiu-jitsu tournament in Pennsylvania, and I was looking for a hotel. And I typed into ChatGPT. I said, I'm going to a jiu-jitsu tournament with my son. The tournament is at this arena, and I want to stay at a hotel that's close to the arena. What are my choices? And it gave me 5 options, and I picked one of the 5. Right? If you're not listed at one of those 5, there's not a chance that I'm not going to that hotel. Now, I'm not, because there's no ability to scroll. Right? What does Google do? I can look at the first 5 and be like, let me see the next page. Right? And a lot of times people don't do that. Usually they pick the first one in Google. Right? But it's not a pay to play anymore. So that I could keep going down a rabbit hole, there's a lot to do, but I think you're very safe if you could run your business, if you could be really good in SEO. A lot of the same principles in SEO are going to help you in AEO. But I will say this is that we are coming into a market of copycats. Everyone's marketing is going to start sounding the same. And the better job you can do to differentiate your business from the market, the more successful you're going to be. So that is why what I was talking about before of differentiation and understanding what makes you different and showing up differently, it's very, very, very important to do. We're coming into, I think it's a brilliant time to be a gym owner. I'm so excited. I think that, for those of you especially that are scaling, like I think it's going to be great. I think there's going to be so much opportunity for us. I think people are going to be craving physical in-person stuff. So it's a great spot to be in. There's a lot to learn, right? To adapt to the new what's kind of happening, and and again, I'm still learning this too. This is all stuff that I've learned, as of recent because it's like, the book on AEO was written 2 months ago. There's a book out. There is a book out, but it was written 2 months ago. And it basically, the book I read on it, it basically says, by the time you get this book, everything in this book is probably going to be irrelevant. That's the problem. And that's how fast all this stuff is moving. But it's just, again, and I don't know, like, that's kind of my job as a coach for business owners is to keep everyone, up on the latest and things like that. But stuff is changing fast. But it's a really good question, Lindsay. And understand that the more people are starting to, and they're not going away from Google. Google will still be there. Google's a big business. They're not going to be stupid and lay down. People are still going to be using Google. Okay, this is not, don't mistake this as no one's going to use Google anymore. That is completely untrue. But will people start using ChatGPT to find things more and more and more? Yes. 100%. Does that help? Good question. I put you on the spot and you asked a good question. Well done. All right.
Coach, I have a question, sir.
Who's this?
This is Paxton.
Oh, what's up, Pax?
Hi. Well, I'm opening my first brick and mortar location here, and I'm trying to decide how to split my marketing budget between specifically Meta and Google, especially for a heavy first 3 months of payments. How do you recommend I budget that between Meta and Google?
Are you doing it yourself?
Yes.
Do you know what you're doing?
No, but I have confidence that I will one day.
I'm gonna tell you, like, if you don't know what you're doing and you're learning on the fly, it's very hard for me to, because when you're opening a facility, and Jarrett and Brian, you guys will see this when you guys open your facility, you got one shot to open this thing with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And you want to take advantage of that. You only get one shot to do it. And you're only the new kid on the block for so long. And it's a small, finite opportunity to be able to do it. So I don't know if it's the right question, Paxton. Like, I don't know, like, should you spend X or Y? I don't know if there's an exact number. The way I, like to do it is I want to spend as much money as I possibly can in the very beginning to acquire as many customers as I can. That's really it because those are the customers that are going to get this thing launched and off the ground. The numbers I'm going to share with you are probably going to make you want to vomit because it's probably going to be a lot more than what you are expecting. But I have people spending $5,000 to $10,000 a month.
That's exactly what I already budgeted for.
Oh, good, good, good. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're on track with that. Now, if you're going to spend $5,000 a month and $10,000 a month and you have no idea what you're doing, I would spend the $1,500 to get GMM to do it, being fully honest.
Okay.
Like I'm going to tell you right now, like if you're going to spend 10 grand and you don't know what you're doing, that's dumb. I would spend 8,500 and pay the 1,500 in ad management to someone that knows what they're doing and get them to do it if you don't know what you're doing. Now,
Okay.
if you tell me, hey, I'm a wizard at this stuff, you're like, I'm really good at it, I would say, fine, go for it. Spend 10 grand, you're good. But if you're going to spend that amount of money and not, I mean, these guys, that's what they do all day long.
Yeah.
GR Hoff at Gym Member Machine.
Okay.
Yeah, go to GR, tell them I sent you. They'll take care of you. Their customers are on this call. I know Jarrett and Brian are customers. Melissa Chase is a customer. It's rare that agencies have happy customers. It's rare, but you have him on here. And he's a really good businessman. He does a great job. He runs a good company. And if you're opening your gym, I would 100% go with them.
Okay. Would you recommend I utilize them to learn from them so that I can do it all myself one day? Or do you keep would you recommend that I just keep myself a little bit more free time and keep offloading?
That's your preference. Like I have never run my own ads,
Okay.
and I never will. But that's me. Like I'm not. I'm not going to do it. There's a lot of guys that I work with that eventually learn how to do it themselves. I think it depends on you, and it ends up coming down to return on your time. It's like if your time is better spent on going out and building relationships with joint ventures in your community versus sitting down and tinkering with a Facebook ad, you're probably better off um, with that community-based relationship. So it totally depends. I would, but for your pre-sale, like you don't want to mess up a pre-sale, and you want people that know what they're doing running those ads for you, not you trying to figure it out on the fly. You got one crack at it. Get it right.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
You got it, brother. Good job. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Hey, Vince.
Yes, sir.
Um, I'm running my Facebook lead form. I don't know if you saw that in the chat or not.
No,
Uh,
what is it?
so we brought in like 31 leads,
Okay.
and they filled out the form, which is just name, email, and phone number.
Yep.
But almost every single one that I've contacted said they didn't opt in. They have no idea who we are. That kind of thing.
Yeah, you're using a lead form.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, usually if
We're
that's the
spending like $35 a day. So does it matter? Like $50 a day, $75 a day?
No, I mean it may be time to test a landing page. It may
Okay.
be time to test it. So that's what we switched to. We switched to a landing page after from a lead form because we were getting out of this like, this person doesn't speak English. This person said they didn't opt in, and I didn't want my guy that runs my gym to be like doing this volume chase of
Right.
people. And so what we did is we just paid more money for less leads, and we get less leads, but they're way more qualified because they filled out a landing page. Okay.
Okay.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to test, right? You're gonna have to test different things and try different things. That's what marketing is. It's a test. But that's another way to go about it. But I don't know if like I don't think the problem's gonna be different if you spent $50 or $75 a day. I think the problem still exists. And just know, like I talked about this yesterday on our call. I love GR and I love Facebook ads. I use Facebook ads. I use Facebook ads to get you guys on this call. I used Facebook ads for my gym. Facebook ads are great, but there's a very, very small percentage of new customers that are going to come from Facebook ads. It's just the way it works. Like I told you, when I did this newspaper, I don't remember exactly how many consults we got, but of every person that booked a consult, guess what the show rate was? 100%. 100% of the people that booked the consultation from this newspaper showed up.
Wow.
Different media. What did
Yeah.
they do? Well, they read a full page newspaper ad. Of course they're qualified. What did they have to do to opt in for you? Accidentally click something.
Yeah.
You understand the difference?
Yep.
I'm not saying Facebook is bad. I'm not saying it's wrong. I think in Paxton's case, 100% go all in on that. But it can't be the only thing. And what you also have to do is manage your expectations of it and know that there's only going to be likely a very small percentage of the leads that you get are going to become customers. And you should use that as a finger on your marketing glove, right? As you learned from me. But if we're relying solely on that, it gets tougher. It's sexy to do it, right? It's like, because we want to like, all right, if I just market on Facebook, that box is checked and I'm good and I can go run my business. I got to know I have leads and generate in the background. But you're probably going to be unhappy if that's the only thing that you're actually doing. So unfortunately, we got to do some other stuff.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Thanks.
You got it, buddy. Good to see you, man.
You too.
All righty. Still here. I like to grind you guys down. I don't like, I'll grind you guys down. I'll keep going.
Hey Vince, Andrew Zach here. Had a quick question for you.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How about you?
Good.
Appreciate the information, man.
You got it,
A lot
brother.
of good
Yeah, of
stuff.
course. Yeah, cool.
So I am in my first month of opening. So I just launched. I
Congrats.
have a lot of leads. I only have a Facebook ad running.
Okay.
And in my first month, I have about 600 leads from it. But my issue is I struggle with getting people in the door from that. And you kind of touched on it with Kevin a minute ago. My issue, because yeah, it seems to be like they're not all qualified leads. So I guess my question is it just a numbers game? Do I just keep calling these people daily, hundreds of calls to get the right people in the door? Or do you have a system in place that would help me find actual qualified leads so I'm not like wasting my time hours every day?
Okay. Ready for this? There's a study done by the Data Handling Inquiry Service, okay, that basically looked at the behavior of when people opt in to buy something, to get more information about something, okay? And the Data Handling Inquiry Service, it looks at every industry across, multiple different industries. It's like this massive, millions and millions and millions of leads, right? And they basically came to the conclusion that when someone requests more information for something, eventually 50% will buy and 50% will not buy. Okay? So just bookmark that and say 50%. Now, that is not 50% buy your business. 50% of the people buy the thing that they're looking for. Okay, so just don't take that too literally. Okay?
Yeah.
Out of the 50% that buy, 15% buy in the first 100 days.
Okay.
Leaving 85% to buy in the next 100 weeks.
Okay.
So what does that do? That begs the question for 100%. You are correct. You need some long-term follow-up. The expectation of all those leads buying, 300 of them aren't going to buy anyway.
Right.
And only 15% of the 300 are going to buy in the first 100 days. Right. And again, I'm taking a study done. Like, don't take this so literally, but it just like gets you to understand. It's like, okay, a little people are going to buy in the beginning and a lot of people are going to buy over time. I said that in one of the things. The fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. So 100%, yes, you need to continue to follow up these leads. Now, are there things that best practices that we could have done to get some of those people in the door?
Right.
For sure. Right.
Yeah.
We talk about following up with leads quickly. We talk about following up with leads consistently over time and calling multiple times and often. Yeah, we got to do all those things. But 100%, should there be in place some type of an email? That's why I like that testimonial email, because that testimonial email is a beautiful thing to send once a week. And then all of a sudden, if all these people that downloaded your or that opted in for your thing, they start seeing stories of people every week having success. Eventually they're going to come around, and one of those emails they're probably going to respond to.
So do you send the same email once a week, or do you change it up, different people, different
Oh yeah,
testimonials?
yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's a different person.
Okay.
I mean, that's what's
Okay.
cool about the builder is like I just put a different person in there, and
Okay.
it creates a different story. And you can just literally take a Google review. and use one of your Google reviews and take the information from the Google review and put it in and make the story.
Okay. Awesome.
But yeah, so I think that you're probably, you shouldn't expect to have, 300 customers from 600 leads.
Yeah,
It's
I
not,
know. And
yeah.
I really need to pump the brakes, and because I'm like ready to my goal is like 250 members in the first year. I'm already at like 70. So, I mean,
What kind of gym is it? A membership gym or is it?
yep. So it's 24/7 boot camp and 24/7 cardio and bodybuilding.
Are you going to add personal training?
I do have personal training as well. Yep.
How many customers of personal training do you have?
I only have one so far.
And what are you doing to get them?
Um, Asking if they're interested when they come in for a gym tour and then pitching it to them.
If I were you, and it's funny because I'm about to create a new product, and my new product is this. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And my new product is going to be teaching membership gyms like yours how to install small group personal training in their business.
Okay.
And
Sweet.
like basically taking my model that I wrote about in this book and
Right.
teaching box gyms how to do it. Because I'm
Okay.
going to tell you right now, like think about this. If you're, what are you paying? How much does someone pay for a membership?
Just the 24/7 bodybuilding side is
Yeah,
59 a month.
59. Okay.
Yep.
So let's just say I get 30 customers paying $500 a month for a small group.
That's a
What
lot.
what is that? So let's do the
Uh,
math. So what is that?
1,500. No, that's 15,000.
Yeah, so 30 customers times 500, which is that's not right. 30 times 500. It's 15 grand a month.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you say it was? 59?
59, but that's separate. The boot camp is 197 a month.
Okay, but let's just say like it's 59. So 15,000 divided by 59, um, you would need to get 254 customers
Right.
to equal the 30 customers that pay you $500 a month.
Right.
If you want to make $1 million, here's how you do it. You ready? You can get one person to pay you $1 million. Then you can get two people to pay you 500,000.
Right.
Or you get four people to pay you 250K. Right? Or you can go all the way down to I want to get 1 million people to pay me $1.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to do? I don't want
Right.
to find 1 million people.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the middle there, right? And so you at the $59, it's fine. But man, if I were you and I want to make some money in this business, I'm selling things that are make a lot more money.
Right.
So just
And
think about it.
so I do have like a 6-week challenge, and it's $997, and that goes as a deposit towards boot camp.
Cool.
And then it discounts your monthly rate. So, I do have things like that in place.
Beautiful. And what I would start to do is just understand that, and I didn't say this before, but I should have. It's only market to one target market at a time.
Right.
So you trying to get personal training, that's likely a different person and a different marketing message than someone to do a $59 bodybuilding membership.
Right.
So the challenge of your model is you may need to create different marketing for the different customers that you have.
Okay.
It makes things more complicated, but at the end of the day, it's going to be more effective.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Appreciate it,
All right,
man.
brother.
Thanks.
Yep. Good luck to you.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Congrats on getting 70 already. That's
All
good.
right. Appreciate it,
Yeah.
man. Thank you.
All right. What's up, Ian?
What's happening, brother? How are you?
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you,
Good.
man. I've followed your stuff for a while. I really appreciate what you're doing.
Awesome. Thank you.
So I just have sort of a general question.
Yeah.
So I'm opening my first gym the 1st of April, so next week, and it's going to be a small group personal train gym catered
Beautiful.
to 50 plus.
Beautiful.
It's a group I've been working with for about 10 years, but this is my first time doing it on my own at my own gym.
Awesome.
This is sort of an operations question. So, by the way, I'm totally bought in on everything that you do, man. I love the small group model. It works the best. I find it's the best cash model. When it comes to the actual, like, basically the problem I have is with people basically people go on vacation from time to time, or they'll miss sessions from time to time. And so far, I've basically been doing it on they pay as they come basis, meaning like I'll
Hmm.
charge them up front for a period of time, but then I'll credit them a session if they give me notice and they miss time. But that leads to a lot of inconsistency in me being
Yep.
able to project numbers, right?
Yep.
So how do you find the best way to work with this? Do you switch it from talking about like a per session model to more of a membership model? So even if they miss time, they still pay the same price? Like, where do you find a nice balance here while still keeping it fair, even if they miss some time?
Yeah, membership model is the way I would recommend to go. And the cool thing is that you are switching to your own facility. And when you change like situations and circumstances, people are kind of understanding when things change like that, right? Like, all right, I'm moving to this new location. This is how we're going to do things moving forward. And I found people are very usually okay with like, all right, he's got his own space. This is how we're going to do it going forward. So I would 100% do a monthly membership where they pay X amount of dollars for X amount of sessions per month and do it like that. If they end up missing a session here and there, they can make it up the week before, they can make it up the week after. If someone is going to miss an entire month, they can put their membership on freeze and pause it. You could do that as well. But yeah, I think that, missing one session here and there, you just tell them that they make it up. And ideally, what you do is you get some kind of a scheduling app software that allows them to cancel their sessions themselves and do that on their own. Like when we switched to that, it was a game changer, right? It was like really helpful to, for them like, oh, I can't come at 6, so I'm gonna switch my out of my 6 and I'm gonna come at the 8. Or I can't come this week, so I'm gonna come 4 times next week. And they can
Gotcha.
do that without having to call us to be able to kind of like change it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I would have a good software. Have you picked your software yet?
I've been using JNAP for a while. I come from a clinical background. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not known as much in the gym world. I come from more of a clinical background first. So it's used a lot with physiotherapists, chiropractors, massage
Okay.
therapists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So whatever, hopefully they can, if you're running small group that it can comply to that system. Hopefully it does.
it does. Yeah.
Yeah, so perfect. And then hopefully they can, do it themselves and schedule themselves. But like when they sign up with you, they sign a membership agreement, and that membership agreement gets them X amount of sessions per month. And then, you kind of, monitor that and track attendance. You track that, all those things that are so important to do to make sure people are staying on track. But yeah, I think a membership model is the way to go. I would follow just to give you some guidance on pricing, I like to follow what's called a good, better, best price model, where it's essentially gives them 3 options. And,
Okay.
there's, we could call it, most of the time, what I'm teaching is twice a week as the bottom option, 3 times a week as the middle option. Ideally, we're driving them to the middle option. And what we do is we sandwich it. So we inflate the unit price of the bottom option, and we create a massive high number for the top option, which squeezes the middle and puts them where we want them to be. It's the best value to be in the middle, because 3 times a week is going to be better for results and it's going to be better for retention versus 2 times a week. If they pick 2 times a week, it's still okay because the unit price is higher, so we're actually making more money. The third one, call it $1,000 a month, is twice a week one-on-one or whatever, something that you're not really going to do that much. And so what it does is it makes the big option makes the middle one look small. The bottom option makes the middle one look beautiful. So I follow that price model if you can.
That's good because in the past but I did it in a different way. You just gave me a little bit of a light bulb moment. So I've been basically the pricing was, you come either 2 or 1 times a week, and there's a $10 per session difference. But now I'm thinking, okay, well, I won't even talk about the per session dollar difference. I'll probably
Nope.
talk about the pricing more on like a monthly, so they can compare the monthly value or even the weekly value, so they don't get stuck up on they're paying per session, they're paying for the membership. But
Hmm.
I thought just now, if I was to offer them 2, 3, and 4 times a week, and then that would make that sort of middle part push them more to the 3 times a week. And even if they come 2, that's fine. And then who knows, some people might put up their hands and say, I'll come 4 times a week. Why
Yeah,
not?
I would just make that 4 something else because it it probably won't be high enough. You want the 4, you're almost like purposely inflating the 4 option or that third option. So I don't know if I would do 4. I would probably do like, you know, I don't like to offer unlimited, but I would offer almost like something off menu or something like that, like one-on-one or something like that, where the price can get to like $1,000 a month. Because
Gotcha.
you don't want it to be 349, 399, and then 425.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah. I
then
know.
that top number doesn't do the job. The top number, the job of the top number is to make that middle number look like a steal.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I'm already charging a lot, but
What are you charging?
69 a session. They're 45-minute sessions. And
I like it.
so that's what's that? I have the weekly value down here, but I forgot it now.
69 times 8 is 552.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So that was if they're going to come 3 times a week, and then I was going to charge them more if they're going to come 2.
Oh, 69 times 12.
Yeah,
So
times 12.
828.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that you're in that, where are you located?
in Toronto.
Yeah, you Canada people, you charge so much money. I guess you have to because you pay so much damn money for
It's
everything.
it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Canada is like a different world. Like we would never get away with charging $800 a month for at my gym. And we're like a suburb of New York City. Like I have some of the wealthiest people in the country at my gym,
Yeah.
you know? Um, so
Yeah. But you guys
yeah, I
have
think
American
Canada
dollars,
is
so your
yeah,
American dollars are
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, Canada is a
And low
different
taxes too.
yeah, different low taxes. Have you ever been to New Jersey? Low
I know.
taxes.
Well, so it's
My
funny you
ass.
say
I'll
that.
show you my property tax bill and you tell me if that's
Well,
low.
yeah. I'm sure I heard another Canadian on here before from out west, so I'm sure us Canadians will rally together and complain and
Yeah.
commiserate
I
about
don't
our
know.
terrible tax
I think I
situation.
would put my property taxes up against yours. In New Jersey property taxes. Holy shit.
But it is
Uh
funny though, because a lot of the content comes out of America, right? Because there's just more of you guys. So I hear about the numbers you guys charge, and you always talk about, charging more value. I'm like, I'm already charging more, but I would need to charge even more. So just to give you like a comparison, so like for an hour of training here, probably good middle ground would be about $120 an hour for one-on-one training, and then
hmm
up to upwards of like 150 or even a little bit more if you're in sort of a little bit of a higher end gym setting.
hmm hmm
But yeah, for the 45 minutes, semi-private, you bring the price point down by about half, and
Yeah.
then
No, it's
yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, it's a great model. It's a really good model. I think you're gonna do really well with it. I mean, if you're getting 6 people in a group paying $69, and if you have an average usage of 5 people, because that's you want to track the usage.
yeah,
That's like a really important metric to track. It's like what is the average number of people that we have in a session? I mean, if you can get $70 a person, 5 people, you're making 350 an hour, and you can do, is your facility big enough to do 2 at a time?
no. So
No, so just one.
I'm terrified
That's
of
fine.
risk,
That's fine.
so I
I
got
don't,
a really small facility to
yeah,
start.
that's fine. Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
better for scale too. Like it's easier to replicate a smaller location than it is a bigger one, for sure.
yeah, we got
So yeah.
really low overhead to start, which I'm really happy
Yeah.
with. And yeah, but
Yeah.
if once it gets up and running, I'm all about expanding and doing more.
Nice, man. That's
Yeah,
cool. That's cool.
awesome, man.
I think you did great. Good luck to you.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Cool. All right, guys. Any other questions? It is now 2:19. Don't you guys have lives and businesses? I guess, yeah. Brian and Jarrett just chilling. I like it. Learning. All right, guys. Well, this is fun. Hopefully got something out of it. And you're there. I'm off to Costa Rica, but guess what? You'll still get emails from me. Even though I'll be in Costa Rica, you will still get emails from me every day.
Do you have time for one more question?
Yeah, yeah. What's up, brother? Yep.
So I have the Go High Level account. and let's say you have 10,000 people on our email list.
Yep.
How do you, because everyone's like, well, you don't want to send it to 10,000 people at once. You want to send it to like 2,000 or 1,500. How do you do that? Like, how do you segment that? Do you just pick 1,500 emails out of a hat?
The answer, I don't know. Because I'll be honest with you, I've sent an email a day for the last decade.
Okay.
I've never sent one email in my life.
What?
So I write the emails in a Word doc and I send them off to the minions, and the minions send the emails for me. I focus on what I'm good at, and what's good is writing the emails, which matters most. So I don't have an answer to your question. I do know that that is the right mindset, though. That is you don't want to all of a sudden, if you've not been mailing at all, and just start mailing everybody at once. You do need to warm them up. The challenge is I don't have the mechanics of go high level and the knowledge of that. You know who does is Leo. So do you know, Brian? Because I don't know. Do you know? Yeah, go ahead.
So a couple things you could do, Kevin, is one, segment your list. So just have them parsed out and then just send to those specific segments individually. Or before you send it, there is an option to do like a drip mode. So you can do the drip mode where it's sending X amount every so often.
Okay.
So if you're going to send the same thing and you want to send it to everybody, just do that drip mode.
Okay.
Just parse it out how you need to.
Yeah, Craig said the same thing.
You can do the same with text as well.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so I know that's what we do. I just don't physically do it. So that's thank you, Brian. Awesome.
Yeah, you'll see it right before you go to send it. There'll be an option down there.
Okay.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah, I might need to contact Leo and see if I can jump on a call with him.
Yeah. He's
Thanks, man.
You got it, brother. Good to see you. Tanya, looks like you're still here. You were one of the first people on and you're one of the last people on. I like that. You're all in. Good job, Tanya. All right. Craig. Craig, it's funny. You're a I didn't realize you don't look like a go high level guru to me, but I guess you are.
I hit send now to the list of 10,000, like he said, and got banned. And had to
okay. Yeah, so you got, yeah, I've been
in
an email.
Now you hit schedule, and then when you hit schedule, it's going to give you all the options if you want to do a drip campaign or and you can. It also go high level, let you send to like people who interacted with in the last 30 days or the last. So you can send it to the keenest people first or the least keen people first, depending what your offer is. If it's like a reactivation offer, you might send it to the oldest on the list first. All those options are there. But I just do like 50 per 20 minutes or something like that, so it doesn't get flagged as spam, and you can send it. Scheduled to send during office hours or whatever you like, and then it'll just keep going in office hours until it's gone through your 10,000. So, but don't hit send now because you get banned. You go to go high level email jail.
Email jail. I've been in email jail too.
I couldn't get out. I just had to start a new account. I couldn't figure out how to get out.
Yep. Good stuff. Thanks, Craig.
You learn by doing and making mistakes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming. And I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, Vince. Enjoy your trip.
Thanks,
all right, thanks. See ya.